something extraordinary begins to happen within just 24 hours of taking this single shot every morning on an empty stomach. Inflammation across the body starts dropping at a measurable level. Immune defenses strengthen. Cells shift into a repair and renew mode that most people haven't accessed for years, sometimes decades. This formulation wasn't created by guesswork. Every component is supported by peer-reviewed research showing precise biological mechanisms that reduce inflammatory markers, enhance white blood cell function, and activate protective pathways against chronic disease. What surprised me the most is this. This isn't a temporary immune boost. It's a fundamental recalibration of how your body reacts to inflammatory stress at the cellular level. I'm David Sinclair, a professor of genetics at Harvard Medical School, and my life's work focuses on the biology of aging. What I'm sharing today is a complete anti-inflammation protocol designed to target the root driver behind most chronic diseases: persistent inflammation. Let's be very clear. Chronic, low-grade inflammation is the silent engine behind cardiovascular disease, type 2 diabetes, neurodegeneration, cancer, autoimmune disorders, metabolic dysfunction, and accelerated aging. When inflammatory markers like C-reactive protein, interleukin-6, and tumor necrosis factor alpha remain elevated, your body exists in constant cellular distress. Mitochondria lose efficiency, insulin signaling breaks down, the immune system begins attacking healthy tissue. Large population studies show that individuals with the highest inflammatory markers have nearly 3 times the risk of all-cause mortality compared to those with the lowest. That gap defines the difference between health span and disease-ridden years. Modern medicine largely treats inflammation by suppressing symptoms using NSAIDs and immunosuppressive drugs. These don't address root causes and carry serious risks: gastrointestinal damage, cardiovascular strain, kidney stress. But what if inflammation could be addressed upstream, using natural compounds that modulate inflammatory pathways without pharmaceutical side effects? That's exactly what this formulation is designed to do, and I'll explain the science, dosing, preparation, and timing that make it effective. The foundation of this shot starts with cucumber, often underestimated, yet biologically powerful. While commonly dismissed as just water, cucumbers are nearly 96% structured hydration combined with bioactive compounds that actively reduce inflammation. They contain flavonoids and tannins, polyphenols that neutralize reactive oxygen species and suppress inflammatory cascades. Research published in the Journal of Young Pharmacists showed that cucumber extracts inhibit COX-2 enzymes, the same inflammatory target as ibuprofen, without damaging the gastrointestinal lining. Even more important are cucurbitacins, bitter compounds concentrated in the skin. These suppress inflammatory cytokines such as interleukin-1 beta and TNF-alpha. Hydration itself is anti-inflammatory. Dehydrated cells experience osmotic stress, thicker blood, impaired nutrient delivery, and elevated inflammatory signaling. Starting the day with cucumber-based hydration provides the medium cells require while delivering phytonutrients that calm inflammation at its source. Use half an organic cucumber with skin intact. If non-organic, peel to avoid pesticide residues. When coffee is combined with healthy fats, it becomes a metabolic stabilizer instead of a stressor. To prepare it, use 12 ounces of organic, mold-free coffee. Add 1 tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil, 1 tablespoon of grass-fed butter, and a small pinch of mineral-rich salt. Blend or stir well and drink it about 90 minutes after waking. This combination supports metabolic flexibility, steady energy, and stable blood sugar while nourishing arterial health. Another underestimated powerhouse is raw cacao. Raw, unsweetened cacao is one of the most studied cardiovascular foods in the world. Unlike processed chocolate, raw cacao is rich in flavonols that directly enhance nitric oxide production. Human studies show cacao improves arterial flexibility, lowers blood pressure, reduces oxidized LDL, improves insulin sensitivity, decreases inflammation, and raises protective HDL cholesterol. In one major study, arterial function improved by more than 400% when measured using flow-mediated dilation, one of the most accurate indicators of vascular health. To prepare this drink, mix 1 teaspoon of organic raw cacao powder with 8 to 10 ounces of warm water or unsweetened nut milk. Add a quarter teaspoon of Ceylon cinnamon, a pinch of sea salt, and optionally half a teaspoon of raw honey for taste. Add 1 teaspoon of MCT oil to support ketone production and vascular dilation. This drink works extremely well as a cardio-supportive pre-workout or as a calming evening beverage that satisfies cravings without spiking glucose. Another highly effective drink uses apple cider vinegar. Apple cider vinegar is one of the most researched metabolic compounds available. Human studies show it improves insulin sensitivity, reduces post-meal glucose spikes, lowers fasting glucose and HbA1c, reduces triglycerides, and improves satiety. Lower insulin levels mean less inflammation, less visceral fat storage, and slower plaque development. To prepare it, mix 1 to 2 tablespoons of raw apple cider vinegar with the mother into 8 ounces of water. Add half a teaspoon of Ceylon cinnamon and a squeeze of lemon if desired. Drink this before your highest carbohydrate meal of the day to blunt glucose and insulin spikes and protect arterial health. The final drink is a turmeric-based golden latte. Curcumin, the active compound in turmeric, is one of the most powerful anti-inflammatory nutrients ever studied. Multiple randomized controlled trials show that curcumin reduces CRP, IL-6, oxidized LDL, and inflammation-driven visceral fat. It supports arterial calmness, improves endothelial function, and promotes overall cardiovascular resilience. To prepare it, warm 10 ounces of unsweetened coconut milk and add half a teaspoon of turmeric, a pinch of black pepper to enhance absorption, half a teaspoon of ginger, half a teaspoon of cinnamon, and 1 tablespoon of grass-fed butter or ghee. Blend and drink it in the evening as a calming, restorative beverage that supports recovery and hormonal balance. You don't need to consume all of these drinks in one day. That's unnecessary and excessive. Choose 1 per day or rotate them weekly. Consistency matters more than quantity. After about 30 days, track markers such as ApoB, CRP, fasting insulin, A1C, triglycerides, HDL, and even a CAC score if available. Most people not only see improvements on paper, they feel them in energy, mental clarity, blood pressure, and digestion. These drinks are not magic. They don't replace sleep, movement, or proper nutrition. But when combined with a metabolically supportive lifestyle, they become powerful tools that help reverse inflammation, restore vascular function, and protect long-term heart health. Clinical trials show honey outperforms over-the-counter cough suppressants. Use up to 1 tablespoon of raw, unheated honey. If avoiding sugar, stevia or monk fruit can substitute, though honey's medicinal properties will be lost. To prepare the shot, Crush the garlic first and let it sit for 10 minutes. Chop the cucumber and ginger. Add all ingredients to a high-speed blender: cucumber, garlic, ginger, apple cider vinegar, 1 tablespoon water, cayenne, and honey. Blend for 30 to 60 seconds until completely smooth. This yields about 2 shots. Drink the first immediately upon waking on an empty stomach. Absorption is rapid. Bioactive compounds enter circulation within 15 to 30 minutes. Many people feel warmth and alertness almost immediately. The second shot can be refrigerated and consumed mid-afternoon or before bed to support overnight repair. You don't need lab equipment to find this zone. If the exercise is so easy you can sing, it's too light. If you can't speak at all, it's too intense. The ideal zone is when you can speak in full sentences but feel clearly out of breath. Extreme calorie restriction fails because it triggers survival responses in the body. Thyroid hormones drop, cortisol rises, metabolism slows, and fat loss stalls. Exercise, on the other hand, produces a dose-dependent reduction in visceral fat without metabolic shutdown. The most effective strategy is to fuel your body properly and then apply the correct metabolic stimulus. Eat deeply pigmented vegetables daily. Replace 1 coffee with matcha or green tea. Perform 45 minutes of moderate hard cardio 3 to 4 times per week. Maintain resistance training to preserve muscle. Within 2 months, reductions of 40 to 50% in visceral fat are achievable. This is not about appearance, it's about reversing inflammation, restoring insulin sensitivity, and protecting your long-term health. Visceral fat accelerates aging and disease. Eliminating it changes your metabolic future. Your body wants to heal, it just needs the right signals.